Hi guys!
Hi guys!
Hi, so we are going to start this video with a quote from John Dewey, and it says, "We do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience." And we choose this quote because we think that it relates with the topic that we are going to talk about during the video, and also because we think that it relates with the experience that we are having as teachers in training and the experience as learners of a foreign language. So for us, it is important to reflect because it will allow us to improve in our learning and teaching process and to be better each day. So we are going to start explaining what is POS method. In the second part, we are going to explain the POS method parameters, and we are going to close the video by explaining the teacher's role in the POS method pedagogy. So we hope that you enjoy the video. So we are going to start with POS method. So basically, the POS method appeared because it was evident that trying to find an universal method was in vain. So the POTS method says that it focuses in the teacher's education and how its pedagogical perspectives were applied in the classroom. So for that reason, it was fundamental that into the learning process exists a relation between theory and practice. So that means that teachers do not have to adapt to methods, but instead the methods have to be adapted in the educational, sociocultural, political, and economic context where the foreign language is being taught. So basically, teachers draw on methods and approaches that they like most in order to create and apply their own teaching theory.
So pedagogic parameters are divided in three different parts. The first one is the parameter of particularity. It's based in a context of sensitivity with some demands for teachers and this work with particular groups. The context of sensitivity suggests that the experience of teachers should have teaching acts such as individual and collective. The review of results, identification of problems and solution, and tools that work. So the another one is the parameter of practicality. It's based between theory and practice. That means a dichotomy. All of this is divided in two parts. On the one hand, explain the professional theories, argues that are generated by experts and are transmitted from centers of higher learning. And for the other hand, explained the personal theories, argues that are developed by teachers by interpreting and applying professional theories in practical situations. Okay, so in all this process, the teacher have two options. They can interpret and use the usefulness of professional theories proposed by experts, or they can throw the theories by experts, develop the knowledge, skill, attitude, and autonomy necessary to construct their own context sensitivity theory of practice. So finally, the parameter of possibility is related from educational philosophy. This philosophy is based that any pedagogy is linked to power and dominance. All of this is aimed to creating and sustaining social inequalities. They had some thoughts about that. First, they stress the importance of acknowledging and highlighting students' and teachers' individual identity. That means that language education provides its participants with challenge and opportunities for a continual quest for subjectivity and self-identity. Also, they thought that the need to develop theories, forms of knowledge, and social practices were with experience that people bring to the pedagogical setting. And finally, they consider that the language teachers cannot afford to ignore the sociocultural reality that influence identity formation in the classroom and separate the language needs of students from their social needs.
Okay, as a conclusion, it's important to have clear the role of the teachers and the students related with teachers for a good learning and teaching process. For that, the teachers are going to work like a mentor for the students. They are going to work in pro of the knowledge for the students. They are going to helping them, try to clarifying their doubts, and obviously motivating them. The motivation is a very important thing for a learning process, because without motivation, the people can't work in a good way. If the students have a good motivation and a good mentor, they are going to work in the best way and they want to improve better their knowledge. All these things is always with helping of the teacher. Another part is very important, the role of the students related with the teachers. Why? Because if they don't have a good relation, they can't increase their knowledge. So their role is try to be active in class. Yes, try to make a good environment between the teachers and the students. For other parts, they need to recognize the teacher voices and knowledge. Also, the visions of the teachers are very important because all of the classes are going to work in turn of the teacher's knowledge and a student's learning.